Hey, everybody. Let me turn this down a little bit. How's it going? Um, Let me see if I can't turn this around the other way so it's not so harsh. And let me put it on a live chat. I know I'm a few minutes early. Um, how's everybody doing? I have been keeping really kind of busy. God, eyebrow down it. I'm getting, I got almost no eyebrows, but what I do have, they're like 3 inches long. Oh, now I will be right back. I just got to share this. All right. No, that's not what I got to do. I have to go over here. I'll be right back if anybody's coming in at the moment. Hey, sorry about that. I was looking at, excuse me. Hey, Joe, Charlene, Weedbee, also known as Seashell, Desert Lady. I had my MHA called me personally, and I'm going to be in the paper tomorrow about my wait time for an MRI concerning my gene deletion. 2 years to see if I have an aneurysm or clot. 2 years that you had to wait for that? That's horrible. Hey, Catsy. Laura, sup? Sherry, hey. So, now let me see. I want to pop out the chat and make it just a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing here. I was going through pictures today. When my dad passed away, my brother Bob became caretaker of all my dad's photographs. And it was just too emotional for him when someone asked for a photo, so he sent them to me. And hi, Rosita, Michelle Jones. Hey, Bitty Boo Bop, Whitson's mom. So I started going through pictures. I have, you would not believe the amount of pictures I have. And yet in 2008, we had a family reunion. And before the family reunion, hair standing up on my eyebrows. My goodness. There, let's see. Got nothing going on. Hey, it's got to be KD, Little Goat Feathers, Minnesota Farmer's Wife Julie, Kathy Ace Vito. So I was going through pictures, and then I came across this bin of negatives, and I'm about halfway through it. Because I have this little machine that I can't remember when I bought this, I think after Bob sent me the box of pictures. And what this does is you insert a negative in here and you turn this on, and it's not on right now because it's unplugged. And then it shows you the picture, what it would be. And then you just click it again and it hits save. So I am, hey, Sherry. I am in the process of, I've been through all the pictures, and now I'm going through, well, not all the pictures, there's some photo albums. And then I'm going through all the negatives, and it's keeping me busy. But what I'd like to do, and I haven't shaved, but what I'd like to do is to do a slideshow. And I've come across some pictures that I had no idea. There is only one picture of me as an infant, and that's the one you saw on Facebook. Only picture of me. When you get to the 5th kid, you forget to take pictures, right? So that's what I've been doing. Tomorrow's Howie's birthday. Thank you, Linda, for reminding me, because I thought it was Wednesday. I've completely lost a day somewhere. So how's everybody doing? I'm keeping busy. I slept last night. For the first time in probably a week. I got like 4 hours, and then I woke up, got Howie off to work, and then I got another 4 or 5 hours. So I finally got some sleep. I haven't been sleeping at all. Hey, Lori M, how are you, darling? Yes, you do, Linda. Yes, you do. This is only my 2nd cup of tea today. I have been just immersed in negatives and photographs. Hey, Angie, did you get the picture of Briar and Marshall? I'm okay, Ange. I'm okay. I'm really sad that I can't be down in Peterborough with my family right now. But, you know, we're being represented by Arthur. Arthur's been down there, just kind of being with Wendy's sons and Arthur, my sons are really close. They're really close. They're like more like brothers than cousins. And so thank you, Michelle. Thank you. I'm part of me is just beating myself up because when we went down to have a little visit, Howie was picking up something and we went to have a little visit at Marty's, and when Arthur and Mel were there, and we didn't have time to stop in and visit next door at my brother Bob and my sister-in-law Kathy's. And now I feel it. So I can't talk about that anymore. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Donna. So anyway, not much is going on. There's no videos, obviously. Now that's not true. I started a video last night because I was going to make a macaroni and cheese casserole. Then I realized I had no macaroni. And so I thought, well, let's do this. So I took frozen celery, frozen onions, and I brought water up to boil, and I broke the pasta up short, the spaghetti noodles up short. And then I threw the celery and onions in at the end of the boil to get them cooking. And just when I did that, the power went out. So I slapped the lid on the pot really quick because I was going to do a pantry pull meal. And I was, but the power went out. So what happened is I couldn't film it, but Howie got home and I mixed all the pasta and I used mushroom soup, a can of mushrooms, the cooked celery and onions and pasta. And I mixed it all together in a pot, like a stainless pot with a lid on it. And Howie put that on the side rack of the barbecue. And then he went out with our last half a pack of bacon and fried it up on the barbecue. And and then he put it on top. So it wasn't a pantry pull meal because it never got finished. So how's Rosita today? Hey, Alice, how's it going? I will absolutely let you know if there's a service. Right now, everything's just in kind of limbo. I don't know what arrangements are being made or have been made, but it's if there's anything, it might happen on the weekend. I don't know. You came in at a delicious moment. Hey, Linda, Debbie Nave. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. The only thing I can say is if you guys remember me talking how my brother and I were going to school at the same school when we were little, and then they started doing testing on the lake along the lake shore for heavy metals and toxins in the soil. Because what happened was is that where our school was like 1 block away from the lake shore, right? And we were in an industrial district. Our school ground was concrete, and they like our play yard was concrete. The baseball diamonds were painted on. That's how hard the concrete was. And my brother Bob and I got the worst of. We all got finger pricked and got tested, and I can't remember what Bob's number was, but mine was 10 times the acceptable amount of heavy metals in my blood. And so Bob and I, being the two youngest, should be the most healthiest, but we haven't been. We've had chronic pain issues, and Bob's had a bad back, bad hips, bad legs, bad feet his whole life. And he was almost pretty much bedridden. And so, he's out of pain. The rest of us aren't, because, he's left a huge gaping hole in our lives. Hang on. Sorry. But as I was going through, thank you, Grampy. As I was going through pictures and negatives today, I'm like, I got all these negatives, and I went, I got this thing somewhere. And I looked, and sure enough, it was right up here in my cupboard. And there's pictures. Now, I'm still looking for other pictures. There's a picture when Bob and I went, when I was 16. Bob was living in Toronto and working in Toronto. And I don't know where the money came from. My dad gave me some money, and I had earned some money from the summer. And Dad let me go down to Toronto. And Bob, I guess I stayed with Billy and Andrea, but my brother Bob took me all these warehouses and shopping and all that stuff. And we got into one of those photo booths. And my sister-in-law Kathy's picture on Facebook is one of those photo booths of her and Bob. But there's one of me and Bob. And I got to find it. It's really kind of cool. I know it's a process, Joe. I know it's a process. And I am focusing on everything except what's going on out of my control down in Peterborough. I have no control. Even if I could afford to go down, my truck, Howie's got to fix my truck. So if there is some kind of service, I hope it's on the weekend so that we can go. But finding old photos is awesome. Yeah. Well, some of these pictures, the negatives are from my dad's old box camera. And a lot of them won't even fit in the machine. Oh, that's my mom at the piano and cousin Jimmy. Oh, wow. I'll have to these I haven't looked at these yet. So what it does is I've got to take this out. You put it's like a little mirror box, and you put the negative in, and it shows up on this screen, and then you go click, click, and then click again, and it takes the picture, and then it comes out on this card, which I'm going to put in my card reader right now because I don't want to forget, because I have to get them off the card. Hang on, I'll just shut that down for now. But I was at my brother's in Indiana. Wow. Well, so, I mean, there's pictures here I didn't know existed. There's negatives here that I didn't know existed. There's a couple of pictures. I'm only going to show when I do the slideshow, I'm only going to show the one of me and my brother Bob where I'm standing next to him. But I guess Dad took a picture of Bob standing in the sunlight in our living room, the sun shining on him. And he went to take a picture of me because I was sound. I guess I was 2 or 3. I sound asleep in a chair in the living room. And Dad went to take a picture of me because the sun was shining on me. And just as he took the picture, my brother Bob poked me, and I was like, and Dad goes, "Bob, you ruined the picture." She was so, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. And then there's the picture of Bob and I standing next to each other. But I look like Matt has a doctor's appointment tomorrow. We will be gone for several hours. If Bev comes on, I won't be able to be with her. That's okay, honey. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm doing Howie's birthday cake, and then I'm doing Freaky Friday. Because the music may have felt like it died, but it hasn't. Right? I seen that picture of you and Bob. I think your brother looked like Meatloaf. Oh, is that the picture of us together? His friend Dave was taking that picture. And I had such a mad crush on Dave. Such a mad crush on Dave. Although I dated his brother, but hey, Demi, how's it going? And I was 18 in that picture. I was 18. As a matter of fact, I've got to find the negatives because I had a 110 camera, which makes these little tiny strips. And I was like, I thought, I'm going to find all these pictures of when we were teenagers and stuff. Can't find those negatives. So Howie said they might be in a photo album somewhere. Bev, you was a little haughty. I didn't think so. There's pictures of me I look at now and I go, holy crap. Like I was passably good looking. And I look at them now and I go, why didn't I feel beautiful? Why didn't I feel? Because somewhere inside me, I never felt good looking. Never felt good looking. And yet I now know that there were guys in high school. I found out later in life that, wanted to ask me out and were afraid to. And it's like, what? And they weren't afraid of my brother Bob. They were afraid of asking me. And it's like, I didn't understand. Because I looked at all the beautiful girls in high school and I didn't compare as far as I was concerned. My mom kept all of pictures. My brother got them from North Carolina. I sorted 3 piles. Well, that's what I did when we had a 2008 reunion. I was going to talk about that. And family reunion. And I went through all of my dad's pictures. And my eldest brother wasn't there, so I'm actually making him a scrapbook. I've been making one for years. But all of the pictures, I went through all of Dad's pictures and I put them in envelopes for different factions of the family. I had one brother who said, because I gave them away. I gave a lot of pictures. And they said, well, why did you do that? I don't know if that's, if you're the caretaker, why did you give them away? And it's like, because who's going to look at them sitting in a box? Nobody's seeing them. Nobody's enjoying them. So I divided them all up into, cousins and stuff like that. But I've got all the negatives, or most of them anyway. None of us think we're attractive. No, I didn't think I was attractive. I thought, I thought I was, my nose was too big, my boobs were too big, my ass was too big, my nose, right? My mouth was too small, that kind of thing. Hey, Seashell, how are you? I enjoyed it, y'all. I've got to run. Have a great night. Hope Howie has a great birthday. Well, I'm just gonna bake him a chocolate cake. Angie's chocolate cake. The Hershey chocolate cake. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, honey. Hey, Tina, I didn't see you there, sweetheart. I just now remembered to send you that text. Forgive, I'm just not Johnny on the spot. So anyway, I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody. I'm doing really well at keeping my shit together. I mean, I just got to find stuff to do, until. Oh, thank you, Charlene. Hi, Susan. How are you? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. You can thank Seashell and Linda Bopp for getting the raw version of the first night, the raw version of the emotions I was going through, because I felt left behind. Now it doesn't make sense to hear that, but my mom got pregnant every 3 years. So there was the three eldest, and then she must have miscarried in between Bob and Bill. And then there was Bob and me. So we were almost like a second family. And like true brothers and sisters, we fought like cats and dogs. But I'll tell you something. I got violently, violently sick in grade 8. Violently, violently sick. And I just couldn't stop throwing up. I just could not stop throwing up. I was so sick. And then I got up the next morning, and I went to go to the bed. Like I was staying home, obviously, from school. And Bob was home from school or getting ready for school or something. And I was horrible at keeping my bedroom clean. I still am. I was horrible at keeping my bedroom clean. But I was so sick that I was waiting. I knocked on the bathroom door, and Bob said, "Just a minute. I'll be out in a minute." He didn't know it was me. And when he opened the bathroom door, I just walked in, shut the door, and started vomiting. And I came out, and he goes, "Bev, why didn't you tell me that you were standing there waiting to be sick?" And I said, "I don't know." Right. And then he said, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "No, everything comes right back up." He said, "Bev, you got to drink water. You're going to dehydrate." But it comes right back up. He said, "You got to drink." So he made me a cup of tea. And he said, "Go lay down in the spare room and I'll bring you a cup of tea." And he brought me a cup of tea. He stayed home from school and he cleaned my room. Fresh sheets, swept, everything. Cleaned my room, and then came and woke me up and helped me back into bed, in a clean bed with fresh sheets. Even though it wasn't dirty, it's just, he said, "You'll feel better when you're in a clean bed, when you're in a fresh bed." So every time I crawl into a fresh bed, I think of that. That was my brother. That was my brother. So one of my favorite memories. But there's a lot of them. I spent the Christmas I was pregnant with Arthur, I spent living with Bob and Kathy. But so when I say I feel left behind, like, I know that my three older siblings always looked at me as the baby, but Bob always looked at me as his little sister, the pain in the ass little sister. But I mean, there were times, there wasn't a lot to do living in Apsley. We got 2 channels. And so, my friends would come over, like Geraldine or Sandy or Kathleen would come over, and we'd all sit on my bed or on Bob's bed, and he'd play the guitar and I'd sing. And, back before cell phones and even proper TV. You know what I mean? So he doted on me, but he was also the one who nicknamed me Beulah. Beulah, he used to tease me. He's right. Something morning to drink helps with dehydration. Yeah, but he said, yeah, that's what he said. You gotta drink, Bev, or you're gonna dehydrate. You can't. And he brought me a cup of really hot, sweet, sweet tea with lots of milk in it. I remember that, and it was like, oh, my stomach allowed it. And then Dad was making me, just beef broth, because when I first started holding stuff down, it was like tea and beef broth for 2 days. So. Hey, but it does. It does. But listen, folks, I'm not going to stay on here long because, I don't need to get really emotional or anything. And I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to do the live reading tonight. Not sure I'm up to it, right? I just wanted to come in and tell you guys I'm okay. And the hardest part about all of this is not being among my family right now. Because that's when we all come together, you know? When Dad died, we all went up to Dad's house and went through pictures, and everybody just started showing up from hours and hours away, and we would sit and talk and drink tea and remember. That's the true wake. The day it happens and when family begins to gather, that's the informal but the true wake of the family. Hey, Lori P. I know that. And you guys, I love you guys so much. But I just wanted to come on and tell you I'm all right. I'm doing the next best thing. If I can't be with my family, I'm going through all the photographs and I'm going to see if I can't make a slideshow to music for my family. So I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm going to go have some supper and sit with my hubby for a little bit. All right. I love you guys. Patrons, I will see you on Freaky Friday tomorrow, where we're going to celebrate some life. And I'm going to play some of my brother's music my brother loved the most. My brother was like Rush, Max Webster, Steely Dan, Dire Straits, Foreigner, I love you guys. Thank you for always being here when I can't be with my blood family and I need to. You guys, you have no idea what you mean to me. All right. I love you. Take care. God bless.